Well, I'd like to welcome you all to a different edition of My Back Step. Don't mind the hair, it's always a mess. I am going to be hooking up a water filter system to my house today. So, let's get right to this, because I don't have a big lot of battery. I don't want to have to go looking for my plug. So this is my basement. It's as you can see, it's a basement. I gotta move my table saw and that back in out of the way. This is what I was using to cut some of the wood that I used out on the step. Messy. However, here's the part that I'm not. Oh, this needs to be swept out. Here's the part that I'm going to be using for what I'm going to be calling a bunker. Sort of. But we'll see more of that at a later date. I'm just going to clean up this bit of stuff and I will get back to you in just a second. Alrighty, so you see this pipe here, this is a main line coming in. This is where I'm going to hook up to. There isn't any wood or anything for it. I gotta take off some of this insulation so I can work with it. Now the important thing is turn off the water supply. Alrighty, I got the water supply turned off. Let's get this pump out so you can see it. And let me show you the fittings that I bought for it first. I gotta put my gloves on because my hands are starting to hurt. Extra shut-off valve, which I might be able to go without, but these are the fittings that I did buy. These are what goes on it now. This goes into the pump. This is called a shark pipe. This goes into the pipe. It makes it much easier. There's no soldering or nothing. You just pushes it in and it's done. I've used those. They're so great. They make things so much easier. Here's the pump. Here's the water filter itself. There's a rubber washer that goes in here. I'll put that in after the fact. This is what I need at the moment. It's very tight quarters here. Let me get some Teflon tape. And what you want to do is this helps it to prevent from leaking. I'm going to give this a good few wraps. One. 2. And these get threaded in. Now one of the best things about this, the way I got this done, is I can put these in now because I have these shark bites. Now they do need to be tightened with a wrench. Why I have my toolkit. Now there is going to be some water come out of this because it is and was a live water pipe. So when I cut it with my nifty pipe cutter, mind that, that's nothing there.
Mom! Mom!
Sorry about that, folks. Now for this I'm going to take my gloves off because I don't want them to get wet. There we go. Put that ladder pressure out. This is how the shark bites work. This is still running a bit. And that's that part done. Now, the best things about these solder-free things like this is there's nothing to it, let's just push it together. And that's it for that. I'm going to give it a good shove in there. It kind of clicks when it goes in. Not really clicks, but here's the filter casing. Oh, the box fell down. It also comes with this big wrench for tightening the casing. Here's the O-ring that goes in it. So that goes in here. So the water filter goes in. The big thing with this is to make sure that you don't over tighten it. Let's get my main turned back on, which didn't fully go off to begin with. That's in under there. It's not that one, there's one right in behind it. So, I don't know if you can see them there or not, but it's way in there. Go. Now, let's turn this on and make sure it's not leaking. Whoops. This has a top valve on the canister. So, you can see the water coming in. Turn that all the way on, and we're done. Very simple installation. It's harder to get around in here than it was to install it. So now just run the water for a little while. Make sure that there's no carbon going to come out of this filter into the water. There's no leaks. It's holding pretty good. I love these shark bites. It eliminates the soldering and everything for everything. And that's how you install one of these household water filters. Now this pipe, this wrench, I'm leaving on my hot water boiler right next to the pump so I know exactly where it is. I don't have to go looking for it. Unlike some of my tools which I cannot find because they're a little all over the place. I did just find a couple more of my tools, which I'm going to throw in here and organize when I get up into my house. So I just have something. Okay. it's just to cover the my Teflon. I also got this little mini pipe cutter for tight areas. Now I didn't put the valve on because there is a valve underneath, but what I may do later on as a secondary project is put the valve underneath this so I can shut off other stuff. Which reminds me, I shut off some of these valves so I better turn them on or I'm not going to get any water up in the house. That helped to stop a lot of the water from draining back on me when I cut the other pipe. There we go. I'm going to tighten that just another little bit. That looks like there's a little bit of water coming out of it. There we go. All done. It was leaking just a little bit up on the top one, so I just tightened it up in there a little bit, and now it's all good. And now I'm going to go up and test the water out in the house. Alrighty, so now it's all hooked up, as you can see. Just kind of gotta let it run for a little bit, not long, maybe 5 minutes or so like that, just to make sure that the charcoal is not coming up through the filter. Another thing I can do is show you guys. The water is going to clarify as the filter goes. See that? It's already getting much clearer. A lot of what you're seeing, the grey colour that's into the water, is actually air bubbles from when you first set it up. Tastes a lot better than it did beforehand, that's for sure. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in for this episode of My Back Step, which was my basement. I'd like to thank you all. Have a great day. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Be safe and have fun. Till next time.